Matmi Management presents Awesome Traditional Instruments of Malaysia. Supported by Permule, my creative ventures in Cherndana.
Hi, today I would like to introduce to you some of Malaysia's awesome traditional music instruments. We have a wide variety of traditional instruments and their sound are awesome. You will get a chance to see how they look like, hear their unique sound and be mesmerized with their instrumental performance. This video is specially brought to you by Matmi Management with the cooperation of Permule, My Creative Ventures and Cherndana. Malaysian traditional music instruments can be classified into four categories, namely aerophones, chordophones, idiophones, and membranophones. What are they? Aerophones are wind instruments which derives its sound from blowing or exhalation. Examples of such instruments include the serunai, pinai, seruling, sompoton, and selumprit flutes. Chordophones are string instruments which are either plucked or bowed. Examples of chordophones are rebab, sape, and gambos. While idiophones are percussive instruments which are struck or shaken. Samples of these are the gong, kesi, chana, saron, kenong, gambang kayu, boning. And lastly, membranophones, the largest group, are the drums and get their name from the skin or membrane which is stretched over the instrument to produce its sound when struck. The gendang, gedok, gedombak, rebana, kompang, tar and jido drums are some examples of membranophones. Next, I'm going to show you 3 instrument samples for each category, how they sound, and finally a traditional music performance using some of these instruments. We will start with the serunai. The serunai is made of wood that is drawn in a round shape and has 3 parts. The unique part of the serunai is the expanding part of its end, which serves to amplify the volume of the sound. Serunai is usually played in many customary events, such as wedding ceremonies and so on. In a performance, the flute can be played solo and can be combined with other traditional musical instruments, such as drums and so on. The serunai sounds like this. Another aerophones is the seruling. The seruling is a type of musical instrument that emits sound from the flow of air that crosses the hole. Previously, it was only made of bamboo, but now some modern flutes are made of aluminium, wood, and PVC. It sounds like this. Another instrument made of bamboo is the sompoton. Sompoton is a mouth organ made from a kind of pumpkin with bamboo pipes that originates from the state of Sabah. Unlike a bamboo flute, with sompoton is a mouth organ as it contains vibrating reeds. Another difference is that sompoton can be played by both inhalation and exhalation. To play the sompoton, a player has to blow the nozzle of the pumpkin by closing 3 end holes with 3 fingers of the right hand and 3 small holes on the base of the bamboo with fingers on the left hand. Let's hear how it sounds. Next, we go to chordophones. We will start with the rebab. Rebab is a type of string musical instrument. The rebab uses a swipe and has 3 strands of rope made of metal wire. Rebabs are placed standing in front of players sitting cross-legged on the floor. Both the sound and playing style of the rebab borrow from the Chinese erhu or two-string violin. This is how it sounds. Very much like the erhu, right? The next instrument is the popular sape. Sape are carved from a single bowl of wood, reaching over a meter in length. Initially, the sape was a fairly limited instrument with 2 strings and only 3 frets. Its use was restricted to a form of ritualistic music to induce trance during healing ceremonies within the longhouses. In the last century, the sape gradually became a social instrument to accompany dances or as a form of entertainment. Today, 3, 4 or 5 string instruments are used with a range of more than 3 octaves. The colorful jungle motifs that adorn the body of the sape mark this change in purpose. Technically, the sape is a relatively simple instrument. Sape music is usually inspired by dreams, and there are over 35 traditional pieces with many variations. This is the sound of sape. Another chordophones is the gambus, very much like the lute. The pear-shaped body of the gambus is carved from a single piece of jackfruit wood. Its hollowed-out resonator is belly-shaped, the open face of which is covered with a soundboard made of stretched goat skin that is attached with tags. The instrument's short neck is also hollowed out. It is rounded in the back and its front covered with a thin flat piece of hardwood that serves as a fretless fingerboard. The instrument is held nearly horizontal across the chest of the performer, who plucks the strings with his right hand fingernails or with a feather quill. Let's hear the sound of the gambus. Let's now move on to idiophones, percussive instruments. The more internationally well-known instrument is the gong. Gongs are a flat, circular metal disc that is typically struck with a mallet. They can be small or large in size and tuned or untuned. Gongs broadly fall into one of 3 types. 1. Suspended gongs, 2. Boss or nipple gongs, and 3. Bowl gongs. Their differences are: suspended gongs are more or less flat, circular discs of metal suspended vertically by means of a cord passed through holes near to the top rim. Boss or nipple gongs have a raised center boss or knob and are often suspended and played horizontally. Bowl gongs are bowl-shaped and rest on cushions. Gongs are made mainly from bronze or brass, but there are many other alloys in use. Let's hear the sound of the gong. Kulintangan is a modern term for an ancient instrumental form of music composed on a row of small, horizontally laid gongs that function melodically, accompanied by larger, suspended gongs and drums. It is arranged in order of pitch, with the lowest gong found on the player's left. Kulintangan music generally could be found as the social entertainment at a host of different occasions. It is used during large feasts, festive, harvest gatherings, for entertainment of visiting friends and relatives, and at parades. Kulintangan music also plays a significant role during state functions. Here is the sound of the kulintangan. You have heard the sound of metal video phones, let's now move to wood. Gambang, properly called a gambang kayu or wooden gambang, is a xylophone-like instrument used in gamelan and kulintangan with wooden bars. The instruments typically have 7 to 21 keys that are easily removed and are kept in place by having a hole through which a nail is placed. A pair of long thin mallets called tabo, made of flexible water buffalo horn, tipped with felt, are used to play the instrument. You'll get the sound as follows. Finally, the largest group of traditional instruments, the membranophones. We'll start with the more popularly found, the gendang or drum. The gendang is covered by skin or head on both ends of the hollow wooden cylinder. One end, the mother, is covered by calf skin, is slightly larger in diameter, and is tuned somewhat lower. The other end, the child, is covered by goat skin, is slightly smaller in diameter, and is tuned a bit higher. The gendang can produce many different sounds depending on how hard it is struck and whether it is allowed to resonate or muted with the hand. The gendang sounds like this. A smaller version and handheld is the kompang. The kompang is approximately 16 inches in diameter and covered by skin or head on one side. It is a very shallow instrument and is played by holding the kompang in one hand while slapping the head with the other hand. It is played in a manner somewhat similar to the tambourine. Today, kompang playing has extended to urban and suburban areas with performances for official and social ceremonies such as welcoming the arrival of local and foreign leaders. Kompang groups may consist of young men, women, or mixed groups, and an appropriate uniform or costume is often worn. This is the sound of a group of people playing the kompang. And last but not least, the Rabana Ubi or sweet potato tambourine. This is a much bigger version of the kompang. The diameter of the Rabana Ubi is at least 70 cm and its height is almost 1 meter. Depending on its size, the Rabana Ubi can be hung horizontally or placed on the floor. In the past, Rabana Ubi were used for long-distance communication purposes. Nowadays, the Rabana Ubi is only used in certain ceremonies or performances. Let's hear the sound of the Rabana Ubi. You have seen and heard our traditional music instruments. They are not just playing traditional or cultural music. Many of these instruments can now be heard playing contemporary music, and you'll be surprised at how good they sound. Let us now enjoy some of the melodious music of these awesome Malaysian traditional music instruments. enjoyed our various traditional music instruments. There are many more instruments, but it suffices to show a few to you for now. I would like to thank again Mule, My Creative Ventures and Chandana for their support in making this production possible. Thank you also to the many contributors of the music. Thank you for watching and please like and share the video. Bye!